Yeah, welcome back to a new module, Vector Calculus, Lecture 31, Engineering Mathematics for GATE and ESE. So this is the first lecture as an introduction for the vector differentials. Before studying main portion of vector calculus, let us see some basic definitions and terminology which will used in further lectures. Scalar function, a very important word. Scalar function fxyz is a function defined at each point in a certain domain D in the space. Its value is real and depends only on the pxyz in space. Its value is real, remember, but not any particular coordinate system being used. It does not depend on the Cartesian system or polar system or cylindrical system. For every point Px, Fx, Yz belongs to domain D, F has a real value. We say that a scalar field F is defined in D. We also call it as scalar field. For example, the distance in 3D space between the point Px, Yz and P0, X0, Y0, Z0, if we take a distance, then in this case, this distance function defines a scalar field. And the domain D I am taking as a 3D space. We are taking these 2 points in 3D, P and P0, and coordinate of P x, Y, Z, and this coordinate is X0, Y0, Z0. Then this distance function Fp from P to P0 or Fx, Y, Z, I am defining as a distance. This is the formula for the distance function. Important points are, what are the important or key point? F has real value for every triplet if you are in 3D belongs to domain D. This is the first and important point. It depends only on point, depends on point D, point XYZ in D, not coordinate system, not coordinate system. And it is defined at every point in the domain. If you are taking a domain, then F must be defined at each point in this domain. Then F is called a scalar function. F is called a scalar function. Second is a vector function. P I am taking again at a xyz. I am writing a v1 iota plus v2 j plus v3 k. Means we have three component v1, v2, v3. I, j, k. Remember, v1 are v1, v2, v3 are function of x, y, z. v1, v2, v3 are function of x, y, z. And then v vector, this is a v vector is defined as v1 xyz I plus v2 xyz j plus v3 xyz k cap. These are the unit vector along x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So this type of function, when you make this function v1i plus v2j plus v3k, remember v1, v2, v3k are scalar functions. But if you write in the vector representation with unit vector I, j, k, and this type of representation is called vector function. It's called vector function. Third, what is level surface? A very important definition. Remember, a very important definition. Let fx, y, z be a single valued continuous scalar function. Means it has a only unique value defined at every point P in domain D. Then fx, y, z equal to c, a constant defines the equation of a surface and it is called a level surface of the function. For different values of c, we obtain different surfaces, no two of which intersect. This is a very, very important point. No two level surface intersect. Very famous question for GATE exam. For example, if fxyz represents temperature in any medium, then fxyz equal to c represent a surface on the temperature is constant c. Such surfaces are called isothermal surfaces in temperature theory, in heat theory. What is the meaning here? What are the key points? First, if you have any scalar function, this is a single valued function, continuous function, and defined at every point in domain D, and it is equal to any constant value C, then this represent a level surface. For different of values of C, we will get a different surface, but no two surfaces will intersect. What is the meaning of this? If you take, suppose if you have a sphere plus z square equal to c square, where c is a constant here, c square is the constant. If c equal to 1, it is a sphere of radius 1. If c equal to 2, you have another sphere of radius 2. If c equal to 3, you have another sphere of radius 3. What is meaning here? Means you have concentric spheres here. Concentric spheres. And these, any of two spheres does not intersect. Then the surface is called, which represent the family of spheres here, or which represent the family of surfaces, is called level surface. Why family? If you change the value of C, you will get another surface, but no two surfaces will intersect to each other. Let's see some examples. Find the level surfaces of the scalar field or scalar function in a space defined by the following functions. First is fxyz equal to x square plus y square plus z square. Let's see the solution. Level surface is given as fxyz equal to c, or x square plus y square plus z square equal to c. Or if c is greater than 0, because c must be greater than 0 here, because you have x square plus y square plus z square, which is always a positive value, because fxyz is a real function, real value. We cannot take imaginary values here. So we can write root c whole square. It means it is a family of a sphere of radius under root c and center at 0, 0, 0. It means you can draw a different sphere by changing the value of c, but center is not going to be changed. So you can see that no any two spheres are intersecting to each other. So this is called level surface. This represents a level surface, and for the different value of c, you will get a different surface, which can be any sphere, paraboloid, ellipsoid, anything. Let's see one more example. Find the level surface for the function fxyz equal to z minus under root x square plus y square. So what will be the level surface here? So level surface level surfaces are given as, because for different values of C you will get many surfaces, so I am representing level surfaces. Fx y z equal to C, so z minus under root x square plus y square equal to C, or under root x square plus y square equal to z minus C, or x square plus y square equal to z minus C whole square. This is the equation of cone. Equation of cones which has center at 0, 0, C, which has center at 0, 0, C. If you take, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is your z-axis, then this point will be 0, 0, C. If I am take, then this will represent a cone here. For the different values of C, you will get different cones. You will get different cones, and no any two cones will intersect to each other. Parametric representation of curves. Parametric representation of curve. Let's see what is here. A curve C in two-dimensional xy plane can be parameterized by x equal to xt and y equal to yt, where t belongs to closed interval a comma b. Then the position vector of a point P of curve C can be written as rt equal to xi plus yj, where x and y are function of t. If you remember, in two dimension, if x is the function of t, y is the function of t, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, then the position of any point xy has vector representation as r vector is equal to xi plus yj. Here x and y are the function of t, so I am taking r as a function of t here, and t belonging to any closed interval a comma b. But in 3D plane, you can see that you have three axes x, y, z. Then unit vectors are I, j, and k. If you have position at any point x, y, z, and this is your origin, then the position vector r vector can be given as in the form of this: rt is equal to xi plus yj plus zk, and xyz and r are function of t, r are function of t. So this is your called parametric representation of any curve. Here x and y can be any values also. X and y can be any values also. Suppose in 2D, xt you can take sine t, and yt you can take e to the power t. Then your curve will be rt equal to sine t I plus e to the power tj. Similarly, you can see in 3 dimension also. This is the position at any point t naught. Then you will get rt naught. This is the value of curve at any point t naught, at any point t naught. This is the value of curve at any point t1. This is the value of curve at point t naught. So these are values are also called position vector of a point. Position vector of a point at point t naught. Here I am discussing t naught and t1, both 2 points here I am discussing. Limit continuity and differentiability of vector functions. Let we have a vector function v equal to vt, and vt function is written as v1 ti plus v2 tj plus v3 tk. I, j, k are unit vector, where v1, v2, v3 are function of x, y, z. Remember, functions of x, y, z, and which are scalar functions. These are scalar functions. This is v3. So what is the definition of limit here? The vector function vt has a limit L ht tending to a. Vt is defined in some neighborhood of a exactly possibly at t equal to a, except possibly at t equal to a. Means Vt function is defined in the neighborhood of t equal to a. If you take t equal to a here, t equal to a here, defined everywhere except t equal to a, then we take the limiting case of Vt vector, and suppose this limit is tending to L, then we take, if we have vector function, then its limit will be in also vector form, can be in a vector form also. When limit t tending to a, it's a magnitude Vt minus L. Vt is the function and L is the limit tending to 0. So this is the definition of limit in vector representation. We write, if we suppose the limit is existing here, suppose the limit is existing here, then what is the meaning of limit here? Then limit t tending to a, if Vt is equal to limit L, write in vector representation V1I plus V2j plus V3k, and L I am supposing as a vector limit L1I plus L2j plus L3k. If you compare I, j, k coefficient, you will get limit t tending to a, V1 is equal to L1, limit t tending to a, V2 equal to L2, limit t tending to a, V3 equal to L3. Remember here, V1 is a function of x, y, z, or here x, y, z are function of t, function of t. So ultimately V1 is a function of t. Similarly, V2 is a function of t and V3 is a function of t. Sometime V1, V2, V3 are given in the function form. Sometime V1, V2, V3 are given in the function of x, y, z form. Okay. Continuity. A vector function Vt, a vector function Vt is said to be continuous at t equal to a if Vt is defined in some neighborhood of a, if this limit exists, limit t tending to a Vt exists, and the value of the limit equal to the value of the vector function at point t equal to a, then this is called continuity of vector function Vt at point t equal to a. So these three conditions are important. Vt vector function t is defined in some neighborhood, limit exists, and this is equal to the value of vector function at t equal to a. Then the function is said to be vector function. Differentiability. A vector function Vt is said to be differentiable at a point if the limit exists. This is representing dv by dt. dv by dt. If the limit exists, means if its RHL and LHL limit are equal, then dv by dt or v dash t. V dash t means we are differentiating with respect to t, are existing. Existence means left hand limit equal to right hand limit. In the case of differentiability, we call it as RHD and LHD. RHD and LHD. So suppose if v vector is a differentiable, v vector is a differentiable here, then v dash t, how you have v1, v is defined as v1I plus v2j plus v3k, and v1, v2, v3 are function of t, then v dash t equal to v1 dash ti plus v2 dash tj plus v3 dash pk. One important point is, if you have a parametric representation of any curve, suppose this is your parametric representation of any curve, then dr by dt, if you have rt equal to xti plus ytj plus ztk, this is the parametric representation of any curve. It's called, this is a differentiation of position vector. It represent the velocity. It represent the velocity of the particle of the particle moving along curve C. How you differentiate it? You just have to differentiate with respect to T both the side. If we see the Cartesian representation, dr by dt also represent dr by dt, it is sense of the particle moving, or if you take in the tangent and normal form of any curve, then this represent the slope of tangent. This represent the slope of tangent at any given point. You have to use that point on here. If you use at t equal to some t naught, then it will give you the tangent at the curve at point t equal to t naught. We are finding here tangent at p, which is equal to t naught, or if you take at Cartesian form x naught, y naught, z naught. So this is another application, and one more application. Here, tangent of a curve, and you can find the unit vector. Unit vector I discussed, that is equal to n cap is equal to n vector upon n vector magnitude. You can find the unit vector for any of the case here. Length of a space curve. This is a very important article here. Length of a space curve. Let the curve C be represented in the parametric form h rt equal to rt vector, and t is between a to b. T is between a to b. Then we have rt vector is equal to xti plus ytj plus ztk. Then the length of the curve. L vector is given as L value. The length is, I'm supposing, as L value is equal to a to b, because the limit of t is from a to b, x dash t whole square plus y dash t whole square plus z dash t whole square to the power 1 by 2 dt, or it is a magnitude of r dash t vector. Magnitude of r dash t vector. You can see that this is nothing else, magnitude of r d dash vector. Magnitude r dash t vector means differential vector of r. This is the length of the curve, or sometimes we represent as, this is the norm. Actually, I'm not going to use the norm. This word is called a norm. You can remember here r dash t, and norm is defined here as a dot product. In this case, norm is defined as a dot product. So if you take the dot product of r dash t into r dash t, you will get, it is nothing else, magnitude of r dash t vector. R dash t dot product r dash t, if you do, you will get nothing, it is equal to r dash t vector magnitude whole square. Let's see what is another value here. St. St is arc length. I'm going to use arc length here. Define the real valued function st from a to t x dash xi whole square plus y dash xi plus z dash xi whole square to the power 1 by 2 d xi. Xi is any parameter. You can suppose some y or p also, dp also, or dq also, depend whichever parameter you are taking here. St is the arc length of the curve from initial point to an arbitrary point xt, yt, zt. But in the length of the space, you know t is from a to b. But in the arc length, you can find arc length from a to this point also, then you can take upper limit of t, suppose c, but the final limit is b. A to b, if you take A to b, it will give you length of the curve, length of the curve. But if you take a small length, this is the length of arc length, then you have to take limit A to C. You can find the arc length from A to D also. Arc length, you are not taking the complete length of the arc, complete length of the curve, you are taking the small length of a curve, that is you are calling here arc length. Then your upper limit t is variable here, it can be any value whichever you want to use. Motion of a body or particle on a curve. This is a very important article. Suppose that a body or a particle moves along a curve, see I have already discussed, then the position vector of the particle or the body at time t is given by rt vector equal to xti plus ytj plus zt k cap. Assume that xt, yt, zt are twice differentiable. Twice differentiable means we have two time differentiability at least. T belongs to closed interval a comma b. Then at time t, the particle s has a distance traveled st along the curve c from the initial point xa, ya, za to the point xt, yt, zt. The distance is given by. We know that. What is that distance? Distance is velocity into time, or you can write ds by dt is equal to v. If you take this is a displacement here or distance here, then it will be equal to speed actually, speed. And if you take displacement vector, then it will be equal to the velocity. So in case of vector, if you have this is your speed is given as magnitude of r dash t. So you are taking in a new variable zeta because you are fixing up, you are taking upper limit, here. So for as you have to integrate, and you are integrating from a to t because you want a small distance traveled on the curve, and you want on t starting from a. If you take the limit a to b, it will give you complete distance. But if you want a small pieces of distance, then you have to take t as a variable, and its magnitude will be nothing else x dash xi plus y dash xi whole square plus z dash xi whole square to the power 1 by 2 d xi. Some people use xi as a new notation dq. You can use d xi equal to dq. Then the limit of q will be a to t. So this is the way to define the distance. Here remember one point. One point is I am taking distance of an arc, distance traveled on the arc. So that's why I am fixing variable t, taking t variable. If you take the limit from a to b, it will give you complete distance on the arc, on the curve. But if you want a small distance on the arc length of a curve, then you have to take upper limit t as in the form of variable. Then if you differentiate r dash t, I already discussed, this is your dr by dt vector. This will give you the velocity vector, velocity. And if you differentiate velocity vector, you will get acceleration. Acceleration vector is dv over dt, or twice differentiation of displacement vector or position vector. You can find the magnitude also. Magnitude, if you have vector function, then magnitude under root coefficient of I square plus coefficient of j square plus coefficient of k square. So this is the another way to find the length, arc length, or distance traveled on the arc length, which is similar formula I have discussed here. This can be represented as v dash I magnitude. You can use this representation also. Take an example here for understanding of these definitions. Find the velocity, speed, acceleration of the particle which is given by RT equal to T cube I plus Tj plus T square K. So how you will find velocity? Velocity is given as dr by dt. So it will be 3t square I plus j plus twice tk. You can find velocity at any point also. Then if you want velocity at t equal to 2, then you can find velocity at t equal to 2. Then you have to put the value of t equal to 2, 2 to the 4, 3 the 12 I plus j plus 4k. What about acceleration? Acceleration at vector is given as dv over dt. So again differentiate it, you will get 6ti plus differentiation of j will be 1, 2k. This is your acceleration. This is your acceleration. What is your speed? Speed is nothing else magnitude of velocity. Magnitude of velocity. So it will be under root of 3t square whole square plus 1 square plus 2t whole square. Coefficient of I plus coefficient of j plus coefficient of k square. So this is the basic and important problem here to understand it. These terminology and definitions will be used in the further lectures. So important is what are these definitions: velocity, acceleration, and displacement here. Most important, how to find the length, complete length. One important point, how to define the differentiability, continuity, and limit in the vector representation. What is the parametric representation of curve, and what is the level surfaces and the properties of level surfaces, what is your vector function, and what is your scalar functions. So these are the terms and definitions today we have studied. This will be used in further lectures. Okay, thank you.